Yeah. Another day, another session. Give thanks and praises to the Most High. Yeah. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining the stream. You know how we do. We grow with me life, right? Dang. 1 second. Yeah. Audio sounding good. Audio sounding good. Music sounding nice. You just keeping it chill all the time, right? Yeah. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So, thank you again for joining in. And I really appreciate the love and support. All of my subscribers, big shout out. Obviously, this is a new thing. So we got a while to go before we pick up steam, but we ain't giving up because, we put in our effort. Because when you put in your effort, you get the outcome that you desire. May not always happen in the time frame that you're looking for it to happen in, but trust me, it has happened. 15 years ago, anybody asked me if I would be in this position today, I would have said no way, right? Being able to provide for my family, being able to learn new things and work at a very high level and work at a very competitive level. I never ever imagined it because it comes from humble beginnings, right? Now I'm able to invest in a beautiful little YouTube studio, a little YouTube setup, and I'm able to share my knowledge and my experience with you guys. So as we lead up to the first study work with me session for the day, we can lock in 50 minutes once this 10-minute timer has hit 0. But until then, I want to talk a little bit about a pet peeve of mine that I see on a lot of the forums as it relates to YouTube, a lot of the Facebook groups as it relates to YouTube, and that is bro science. And I can't think of any other term to call it but bro science. And in fact, I doing an upcoming video today. I'm gonna be working on a script, kind of about bro science, but a little bit more in detail than what I'm gonna mention today. And the reason I want to talk about bro science is because you gotta be careful with it, right? Because a lot of people take YouTube advice to be generalized versus prescriptive, right? And what I mean by that is a lot of the YouTube advice is going to be depending on the context, depending on your niche, depending on the formats that you're using, and also depending on the size of your channel. So YouTube advice is never a one size fits all, and that's one of the main goals of this channel here. What I like to talk about is advice that doesn't only benefit you for YouTube, but it's going to benefit you as a person overall, and it's going to help you grow as an individual. That's why you'll see me liking to talk about communication skills, negotiation skills, communication frameworks, marketing, personal branding. All of these are things that go into successful YouTube channels. On the other hand, you got a lot of bro science where people is gonna say, do this and you're gonna unlock the algorithm, you're gonna hack the algorithm, and you're gonna go viral. Well, I'm sure you've heard that advice, and I'm sure that you've tried that advice, and I'm sure that advice hasn't worked for you, right? Because I try it, I heard it, and it doesn't work. And one of the big key ones you see is people talking about SEO. Oh, you gotta optimize your channel for SEO. Well, SEO doesn't apply to YouTube specifically. It's a term that really applies to optimizing websites to help websites rank in search engines specifically. But when you take into consideration the fact that YouTube itself is a search engine, then that changes the whole dynamic of it. Then when you take into consideration the fact that AI heavily plays a heavy part in the YouTube algorithms and how viewers get shown videos. And people want me to believe that SEO is gonna put in a few magical keywords in my description, changing my the file name of my upload to the actual keywords in the title. All that is gonna make YouTube magically recommend my content even if it is terrible. No, that's not the case, right? I mean, if you're coming from a standpoint where you want to be organized and you want to make sure that you have your keywords in there and you have an appropriate description that's keyword rich, sure, fine, go ahead. But to promote the bro science and to basically say, yo, if you do SEO and you optimize your titles and stuff for SEO, that your content is gonna go viral, that's just not true. And I know it's not true because if you look at my content, all of my stuff is optimized. I got a vidIQ score. My last video got a vidIQ score of 100. Added to a playlist. Keywords in the first 200, first 200 characters in the description. Keywords in the title. I generally don't name, to be honest, I don't name the file name that because I know better. I don't waste my time with that. I usually give my file names a file name that I can remember, I can identify when I look through my content. Yeah, sure. My file name makes sense. Does it have all the keywords in my title and description? Probably not. But still, 100 vidIQ score, and a video ain't got 1 million views. It been gaining good traction. They got like 112 views, and as far as I'm concerned, when looking at the statistics and my progress, my video is doing well in the grand scheme of things. Even though 100 views, people might argue that 100 views is not a lot of views, but I got 137 subscribers, and if I got 115 views, I don't feel too bad, especially when they look at my retention graphs and stuff. But again, a little bit distracted, right? Bro science. These people give you advice that is one, clickbait, because they know if they preach this advice, they're gonna get a lot of views. So they're wasting your time but boosting themselves with bro science. And if you don't believe me, try it. And then comment down below that if you've tried stuff like SEO because you heard it works and it don't work. Let me know. Tell me, call me out on my BS if I talking BS, right? But pretty certain on that, especially another thing too, if you look at the YouTube documentation, it blows a lot of this bro science out of the water. Things like tags. People say, oh, put tags on your videos, that's gonna help you get discovered. But when you visit Google's website and look at the Google documentation as it pertains to tags, it straight up says tags do not help in the discoverability of your videos. Tags are generally used for situations where you may have commonly misspelled words in your title, so that in the event that you put the words in search and you know that, well, this person, I can't even think of a word that's commonly misspelled right now, but I'm sure you could think of a word that's easily like a typo or whatever the case may be, where there could be an S, where there's a Z, like analyze, for instance. Yeah, that's a good one, analyze. Some people put analyze and it's correctly spelled with a Z. Some people may put an S in there, and that's to help, with those scenarios. It doesn't help you get discovered. It doesn't push your channel or push your video and your content to more people. That's just a joke. It says it in the documentation, but people tell you on YouTube videos that that's what you should do. And that's what I mean by bro science. So we counting down. We got 30 seconds to be locked in. Today I working on the script for my next upcoming video. I about halfway through. Like I said, I usually do a thesis, 4 main points and a conclusion. I wrapped up point 2 last night. I'm gonna try my best to do point 3 and 4 on my conclusion today. Maybe, I don't know if I get it done in this 2-hour session, but for sure putting in the work so that I can actually be ready to record that video tomorrow. That's my goal. Let me know your goals in the chat. Let me know what you're working on in the chat. Let me do it. Let me get this locked in. So I set up a 50-minute timer here, and we're gonna make it happen. Yeah. That one feel good. Point three. Point three almost done. Yes. Loving it. Loving it. Hope you really getting a good a good vibe and getting good ideas happening and getting your goals and moving towards and moving the needle. Right? That's one of the things, you know. Some people might say that I am sometimes critical of others, but one of the things that I'm critical of, and I include myself in this, because when I look at my activities and I say, well, no, you're not doing enough of one thing, And I believe that we should always be putting as much effort as possible in doing things and activities that move the needle, right? And I get it, like distractions are easy. This is one of the reasons why I created this study and work with me live stream, is to help keep myself accountable, reduce my distractions, and keep me focused on work. Obviously, going into the office or being in an environment where I working with teammates or whatever, you know, we meeting with people, we focus on a common goal. These sidebar conversations that we have, yeah, sometimes we may shoot the shit a little bit, for lack of better words, and crack some jokes. But then in other instances, we circling up with a group of people and we talking about what we need to do to move the needle, right? And everybody in that setting generally focus on the same thing, working on a common goal and moving forward. So by creating this live stream, I want to be able to create that environment where people join in. You know, we can have a little chat in the 10-minute time, and we take a little break, we drink a little water, we walk around, we stretch our legs, and we have a little conversation, and then we get back to it. We working. It helps keeps me accountable, helps me keep working forward on the main goal, which is, you know, creating content. And as like yesterday, obviously it was a day that I had to work on stuff as it regards to getting new employment. I had to go through like the unemployment place and verify my identity and go through some potential job options and learn how to use the software that they have to record the hours that I'm not working and all that kind of stuff. So it was away, but I was still focused on doing things that move the needle, which is getting me back into a position where I reclaim some of the salary money that I lost by losing my job, right? Same thing here, you know, working on YouTube is towards that ultimate goal of, you know, I don't want to say financial freedom, but you know, if a really good sustainable business is formed in this time that I have to myself versus working, that's great. Obviously, I would love to have two solid streams of income or one really big large stream of income. So if you're enjoying this type of vibe, be sure to hit like, comment, and subscribe, and help push me towards monetization, because that's my next goal. So at 500 subscribers, I could get super chats and super stickers where you guys could donate and what's not. And then as 1,000 subscribers, then I can monetize my content on YouTube. Which, and I want to make sure that my content providing as much value as possible for you guys and helping you move the needle. Again, that's all about. And that's why I tell people, you gotta be have the mindset of a winner. We winning all the time. We ain't losing. We winning, which means in order to be a winner, we have to put in the reps, do the work. You know, there's this famous story that when you think about people like Kobe Bryant, Kevin Durant, and stuff like that, these uber successful people. Can you imagine? The truth of the matter is that Kobe Bryant is a man. It's a true story, right? One of these days I might tell you a little bit about how you know this is a true story. But bro will shoot 1,000 free throws, and he ain't stopping till he score 1,000. You imagine shooting 1,000 free throws? No, I would just shoot 1,000 free throws because obviously somebody could shoot a ball 1,000 times. You imagine scoring 1,000 free throws in a session. I mean, look at a man like Kevin Durant. He said, you know, when everybody in college or whatever, when he was younger, everybody partying and taking time off to put in the work and taking time off to unwind and de-stress and do all these different things. He is training. So obviously he will be a great. Obviously he will be insane. Right? Obviously he will be insane at what he does. And I mean, I ain't operating on that level because as a, you know, I would love to be able to get there, but I suffer from distractions just like any average person, right? I like my Call of Duty, I like my Warzone, I like my Rebirth, but I always try to discipline myself enough to make sure that I put in sufficient work to move the needle, because that's what it's all about, moving the needle. Some people is able to move the needle greatly, some people can only move the needle a little bit at a time. I do have a little bit of an obsessive personality type, so you know, I kind of obsess on putting in the work. I like relaxing too, just like any other person. But like I said, I remember when I was studying for my certifications, I had a conversation with my wife. Was like, hey, little Missy. Right now on the evenings, I might just have dinner and do some studying. We have date night on the Friday nights, and we enjoy those nights. But during the week, until I get these certifications, I grinding. A little bit different for me though, cause I got a little daughter who's gonna be almost 2 here, and she's a handful, and I want to be a good father. So this is a balance that I trying to figure out. But luckily, she goes to daycare during the day, so I'm able to stay home. Know that I unemployed. If you know anybody that looking for a good data governance lead or any kind of leadership position in information technology, have them hit me up. Super experienced ITIL master, vast amounts of experience in IT service management and with ServiceNow, etc. But forget that shameless plug as they're looking for a job. But that's the reality. Back to the situation at hand. Putting in the work, obsessing over moving the needle. Because at the end of the day, I find that purpose is important. And, speaking specifically to men here, obviously, everybody should have a purpose. But I find that men without purpose, they don't live too long. I had a lot of friends that grew up with a lot of friends, same as me, mid 40s. And they fade away long before me. And one of the things that I attribute their fade away-ness is that they never really had a purpose. I left Barbados and I moved on from Barbados and come back 5 years later, and some of these same people doing the same things that they've been doing the whole time that I've been gone, and trying to fulfill my purpose. And that purpose gives you drive, and that drive helps you to create, to grow, to build, and to make an impact on this world. And if you look at any of these successful creators on the scene, you will realize that they got a purpose, they got a drive, and that leads them to success. And I am hoping to emulate that. Not saying that I haven't emulated it in my life. I haven't emulated it yet in the YouTube creator space, but for sure I emulated in my life and in the corporate world, because I was able to start out as a technician and grow into high-level leadership in the corporate world, right? So having a purpose and having a drive, and then bro, science, that's a real deal. When you put any work, you get the outcome that you desire. Anyhow, maybe lock in for another 50, and then we grab some lunch. Cause when you work hard, you gotta eat, feed that brain, right? Let me go. Lock in another 50.
Yo.
Wow. Was locked in there just now. I even realized that the time I expired. That was a good session. That was a real good session. Felt super productive. I don't know about you, but I get a lot done there just now. My entire point three is almost wrapped up, and I'm feeling good about the amount of work I put in just now. Not sure if I can stick around for another 10 minutes or so, but I'll chat for a little bit if anybody's still around. Thanks again for tuning in. I really appreciate the support. Remember, if this is the kind of thing that you into, like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share. We want to make sure that the algorithm understand that I provide a value and good advice. Today we talk a little bit about bro science. Today we talk a little bit about understanding your purpose and having your purpose. You know, I would never forget my grandmother always used to tell me, a man should have a position and a principle in life, and by default, obviously that leads you to having a specific purpose. You know, I have always believed that my purpose was to share a message of positivity and to help people grow and move farther away from the negative and farther away from the evil. Evil and destruction, huh? Babylon is a wicked and evil and dirty person. That's a that used to be my catchphrase back in the day. For those of you who don't know, I used to be a DJ, so chatting on the mic and talking to large crowds of people comes naturally to me because I spent quite a few years um, as an entertainer in Barbados, and I learned a thing or two because I seen a thing or two. Liberty, Biberty. Or that's progressive. It's one insurance company that line I just terribly stole from. But the reality situation is that when you look at life and when you look at applying your purpose, you always have to look at what skills and talents and expertise that you have that you could bring to a marketplace, right? And one of my things I remember, like as a kid, on my report card, they will always say, Andre is too talkative. Andre is too talkative. Andre doesn't pay enough attention. Andre is too talkative. But it was not that I wasn't paying attention. I was bored. And I like talking. That's a bad combination for school, but it's a good combination for leveling out in life because communication is one of the most key skills that anybody could learn in order to succeed. Because to communicate is to relate with people and bond with people on a common goal. And if you could communicate well, you could get a lot accomplished. You could break down a lot of barriers. You could break down a lot of walls. You can fast track and advance your life and build your legacy and build generational wealth through effective communication, especially in today's social media age. That's why I'm always an advocate of turning on the camera, getting in front of the camera, and getting your message out there on YouTube, helping people out there in the YouTube land. Whether that help is to be entertainment, you cracking jokes, you doing reaction videos, you just sharing your life and your personality with people, whether it's teaching, which in my case, part of my skill set is training and documentation, being able to collect large amounts of information and distilling it into smaller chunks that people can understand and apply to their life. That's me. And it does help that I ain't afraid of the camera. I'm not afraid of speaking on the microphone, and I'm not afraid of speaking to large people because I've been there, done that. I spent nights where it was just 2-3 people in the dance, and I talked to them and had a good time. Then there was nights where there was 5, 6, 700 people in the dance, and I talked to them and we had a blast. Break down the place, make Harman blow, do things, right? And that being said, I get a little bit hungry, so I gonna cut it here. Great session. Stay tuned for the replay. For those of you who join halfway, you can always rejoin and get that creativity and productivity going. I'll be posting all the live replays. Maybe I stream live again tomorrow, not sure. My goal is to really wrap up the script today and then record tomorrow. And I like to record at least by Thursdays. I like to record my scripts by Thursdays because I can edit during the weekend, right? I don't know if that was a habit that was born out of the fact that I was working. So I would record on Thursday nights and then I would try to edit Friday, Saturday, Sunday and get through the meat of my editing over the weekend and then just do my fine tuning and my tweaks so I can release during the week. But we'll see how that works out now that I am home full time and I'm a full time YouTuber. So we'll see how that works. But I may be recording tomorrow. Friday, my daughter off from daycare, so I'll be spending the day with my daughter on Friday. So you may not see me on Friday. Obviously, Saturday, Sunday is the weekend. Time for me to spend with my family, wife, and daughter. And then Monday, again, we back at it. Hopefully by Monday, I'm doing some more editing. I'm not sure how I will set up the live stream for editing, because obviously I'll be using a lot of applications and a lot of windows open. I will have to have Final Cut open, the studio open, and then obviously I edit on at the little office space. So I don't even know if I can set up the camera there, but I'll see how that work out. And because if it's something that if I do, I probably wouldn't be able to have the music playing in the background because I need the audio to be able to hear what's going on as I edit. But that being said, thanks for tuning in. God bless. Stay positive, stay focused, and always remember, your outcome is equal to the input. Input more, output more. Easy math. Quick math. Anyhow, peace out. Have a good rest of your day. Bless up.